All right, guys, it's February. So New Year's resolutions are still fresh, but I want to ask you something. How is your motivation to stay committed? Look, I get it. It's easy to get tired of your resolutions. We've all been there. But here's one resolution that we can actually all stick to, and that's ditching the endless cups of coffee for something better. Mud water. If you're trying to cut those 2 p.m. jitters, or you're just looking for a drink to help you through without the crash, mud water is a great option for you. This is not your average cup of joe. It's a blend of cacao, turmeric, chai, and adaptogenic mushrooms to actually help you feel more focused, not wired. So if you're still sticking to your resolutions, or you just want to make a fresh start with your routine, try it today and I'll help you save big. Mud water is available at Target and Sprout locations throughout the U.S., so it's never been easier to grab a cup of this pick-me-up. But my listeners can get up to 43% off their entire order. A free rechargeable frother, and like always, I'm going to make sure you get free shipping. Head to mudwater.com. Make sure you use the promo code Chael at checkout to snag this deal. Keep your energy clean, calm, and in control. Switch to Mud Water today. All you got to do is click on the link below.
Sean Strickland, Dricus Du Plessis. There's a lot that just happened here. A lot of good stuff just happened here. Character very much gets revealed in this sport. This type of a moment. That was something both can be proud of, truly. And I am as confused by Dricus as anyone in the history of this sport that I have followed, and I've only missed one event since 1993. The night Matt Hughes rematched Carlos Newton, whatever card that was, is the only card I've ever missed. I've never been more baffled by a guy. And you get surprises, right? I mean, these guys that come in, Ilia Topuria running his mouth about how good he is, and you look at his record, he's undefeated, and he gets a little something backstage with Patty the Batty, but then he comes out and turns out he's best fighter in the world. But as I'm watching him, I feel like I could tell you very specifically what Ilia does so well. I feel like I could break down his wrestling, specifically his Greco-Roman. I could bring in his striking, which is really, really classic and clean, angle-driven Western boxing. I don't know what I would tell you about Dricus. I really don't. I know a guy, Sam Donovan, was a top Greco-Roman wrestler here in America. He's a very good friend of mine. He has been in the training room with the South African national team, Greco-Roman national team, and Dricus has been in that room. Sam told me this many years ago, so I assumed that Dricus was a Greco-Roman wrestler. Put that in perspective, that would be Randy Couture, Dan Henderson, Ilia Topuria. But I can't find that anywhere. I know Dricus was in the room. My friend Sam was in the room with him, but I can't find that. Like when I go search online for Dricus, he's about as proud as any man is to represent his country. But if you read about his training, he did a lot of it elsewhere. For example, Thailand. There's information readily available out there. And when you watch Dricus fight, and he's such a good stand-up fighter, I guess. I mean, when he fought Darren Till, that was a dog fight. That was back and forth. And it turned to takedown and ground and pound and control. But it turned there by Dricus. So I guess I'm sharing with you that I've always thought Dricus was a better grappler than he was a striker. And I'm not certain that's true. I mean, this kickboxing is not as clean as, say, Israel Adesanya, Alex Pierre. Not even, we're not even in the same conversation. But he used that kickboxing to defeat Israel Adesanya, who has beaten Alex Pierre. I mean, not for nothing. How do we just dismiss him? It can't be done. Sean Strickland is as good of a fighter as you're going to come across. And that's the other side of this. If you are a Sean Strickland fan and you are a little down right now, please don't be. Like, Sean Strickland's never been given anything. There's never been a person on this planet that has helped Sean Strickland. That's probably pretty close to a literal statement, sadly. Sean doesn't want something for nothing. Sean does not want that belt unless he's the best fighter in the world. And you may think that that sounds cliche, but it's not true with everybody. Many people would take the handout. They would take the gift. I'm just sharing for you. Sean wants a dogfight. He wants a fair adjudication. And he will pack up and move on. And he got that tonight. He's now had 10 rounds with Dricus. Total of 6 judges have weighed in. I mean, it's clear. These questions were answered. So this is not a down evening if your team Strickland. That's not what this is. But there is a minute where at 185 pounds, Sean is going to have to take his oars out of the water for just a minute and figure out what it is that he wants to do and where he's going to go. Like, that division is a very odd and changing division. There are not a lot of top contenders. There are a few guys. Izzy, Dricus, Sean. And, of course, I'm leaving one out, which is Chimaev. But where do you go with Sean Strickland for right now? And that's why we just need a little bit of a breather. Because he's already fought everybody. And there are not guys that are outside the top guys that are going to break in and be able to deal with him. So where does he go? Let's give that a minute. Because this was a really excellent night for Sean. All of Sean's fans. They got what they wanted. They got what they earned. They wanted a fair contest. They wanted the world championship at stake. This is what happened. And I do want to reference back to me not quite understanding what Dricus is so good at, thinking that he was a wrestler. And I have seen Dricus wrestle. He wrestled with Sean in the first match. There was none tonight, but he wrestled him in the first contest and looked really good. When he needed a takedown against Darren Till, I mean, it was one shot, one takedown. He did not need a scramble or two or to set it up. I mean, this guy can wrestle. And moreover, nobody's out wrestling him. Like, his defense is damn near 100%. It might even be 100%. So, if you look at the fight with Chimaev, at a minimum, we're going to see a very different fight. Like, just how good is Dricus? I mean, he showed tonight that he's better than his opponent tonight. I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you just how good is he? Is he good enough to defend the takedowns of Chimaev? Okay, great. Let's go further with it. Is he good enough to take Chimaev down? Is that completely irrelevant? Because his stand-up is so impressive. And I just think that's a tough question. I've never seen Chimaev lose a stand-up fight. I'm watching how good Dricus is in a stand-up fight. I mean, I think that it's an interesting topic. Do you believe that Chimaev can tackle this man? I believe that Chimaev has gotten on top of everyone. He had Gerald Merchant, just for example. There was a knockout that kind of ended fast, but Chimaev has gotten on top of everybody with no exception inside of 5 minutes, and you can even break that down further. I don't believe he's gone 2 minutes without getting on top of a guy. I'm not certain that he's gone 1 minute. I'm trying to think in the Kamaru Usman fight if he got him down quickly. You guys remember the Robert Whittaker fight? He came right across the ring, got him right down right away. But this fight feels different right now. Chimaev versus Dricus feels different than it did an hour ago. And what a match. What an incredible match that we have. And once those guys get done with that piece of business, 185 is wide open for a challenger. I think that Bo Nickel versus Demir, just for example. I don't like that Demir is not ranked. I don't like that Bo is close to 15. Like, that is an extremely significant and meaningful fight to show you who can go on and who can capitalize within this division. But they're ranked so far away from number one that fight isn't going to have a tremendous relevance to the scheme of things. Moreover, it's not going to impact the winner of Dricus and Chimaev. It's a very fun time to look at 185 pounds. The division has got put on display. Izzy last week, MVP. Strickland and Dricus tonight. I mean, they are living up to the hype. And Dricus Du Plessis, world champion. It's not quite as obvious that he couldn't go with Alex Pierre, is it? That's not quite as obvious as it felt. It's not quite as obvious that he can't go with Chimaev. Like things feel very different right now.